I want to make a YouTube channel. How many times in life have you had an idea, wanted to try something, and then thought, that's going to take too long. I don't have the skill to do that. I probably shouldn't. You talk yourself out of it before taking the first step. Then, years on, you look back, see a sketch, an unfinished novel, and it is filled with regret. Oh wait, I've just described myself. Well, I'm done regretting. I want to do all these things that I've talked myself out of, creating the things that have only existed in my imagination. Well, great. Good for you, buddy. Do you want a medal? Yes. Actually, no. What I want, or to be precise, what I need, is accountability. That's where this channel comes in. If I force myself to adhere to a schedule and upload videos about whatever project I'm working on, then I'll feel like a total loser if I give up. And hey, as an added bonus, maybe I can inspire others to do those things that they've always wanted to do as well. So, what's the plan? What is the process of making a YouTube channel? Good question. As I write this script, I haven't actually looked into it, so instead I'm going to do something that I enjoy, breaking big things into small things. First, we need to define the big thing. Well, for this, and for all projects going forward, we're going to use something called SMART goals. That stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. When you have a broad goal, let's say for example, I want to learn to draw, it can be hard to make a plan, track your progress, and definitively say to yourself, I have achieved. Cue the loss of motivation, abandoning your goal, and oh no, we're once again regretting. Instead, you say something like, I want to create 3 full-color watercolor landscapes of A3 size within 3 months' time. See? Bam. Clear target. Even if you miss it, you can measure what went wrong. Was 3 too many? Was filling an A3 page too difficult? Maybe you were drawn towards acrylics instead of watercolors. Either way, you can remake that goal, adjusting for what you've learned. Now that you know what a SMART goal is, time to define my own. I want to create a YouTube channel with an initial video between 10 to 20 minutes in length, including editing and background music. And I want to upload a new 10 to 20 minute video every 2 weeks of similar quality. Let's put that second one in a box for now and focus on the first one. Now, I'll admit it's missing a T, making it a Mars? ASMR. Arms goal, I suppose. That's unfortunately going to be the case for a few of these things since, peeking behind the curtain, I do work a full-time job and all, so my time to dedicate is going to be limited. It is also the awkward circumstance that this first video, the one you are more than likely watching right now, is in a very meta state of both being worked on while being thought about, while future videos I can focus on what I'm doing while having a structure tied down. I even think I'll need to break this video into separate parts, literally again, as I'm writing this sentence. This one to cover the plan and breakdown, and the next one about the actual process of making the video. Speaking of which, we've delayed long enough. Let's break this down. The first step of any endeavor is the planning and experimentation. You break down the goal into smaller, more manageable steps, i.e. the thing that's currently on screen. The important thing for me when coming up with, this channel, was what my style and theme was going to be, at least starting out. Plenty of channels change their styles and evolve over time, but giving myself an identity and a clear direction was important. This has obviously been bumping around in my brain for a while, so I already had an idea about what I wanted the channel to be about. And if the intro didn't make that already abundantly clear, the theme would be doing things I want to do, but have otherwise put off doing and regret not doing. Thinking about how channel longevity is another thing to take into account, a gaming channel will always have new games to play, a news channel, new news to talk about. A doing new things channel can theoretically go on forever, as long as there are new things to be done. Though I did brainstorm over a dozen things that I definitely want to do, and unlike creating a channel or creating a video, some of the things I have planned, let's say creating an animation, where I start out with little to no experience, will have many more goals and many more steps, and therefore many more videos that will be needed to try and complete them. So I think my theme is pretty well set, and that means I can work on the next steps, which is also where creating a channel and creating a video diverge. So somewhat ironically for the first video, and also so I don't have to think of a video for number 2, this video will be focused on channel creation, while the next video will be focused on the, actual video. So, let's scrub that second half of the plan, the video part, and go on to the next step of creating a channel, a name. Thankfully, since we've got a channel theme, choosing a name becomes much easier. See how this works. If I called the channel Princess Pinky's Pork Pies, that wouldn't make any sense for the theming. I want to remain anonymous, so having a play on my own name is also out, so no Markiplier or Philip DeFranco. I do have a gaming moniker that I use, which may come into play later, but it doesn't match the theming, so it's got to go. During the initial planning phase, I actually had a name in mind, I Want To. It kind of led me into the intro of the video, and each project, as I'll call them, could start with a similar intro. I want to create X, or I want to learn Y. So I went onto YouTube, searched the name, and it's taken. 1 video, 1 subscriber. Not that that necessarily stops you. You can have duplicate names on YouTube, no worries. But for me, it was 1 person too many. So, my first choice taken, I had to come up with a new name. A better one. One that I probably shouldn't be hyping up because it's obviously at the bottom of this video. So let's work from the conclusion. How did I come up with We Attempt New Things? First thing I did was set a timer and in 1 minute type out all the names I could think of related to the theme. No excluding them if they're terrible, just hash it out. None of those names were winners. So I took commonalities from the names and came up with themes that were present in the names. Then I fleshed out some of the names that might actually work, going through pros and cons of each. Already taken, too common, too cheesy, too pretentious. Then just edging out the second place of de-regret, D being to get rid of regret as opposed to which could simply imply getting over it, not to mention that all the things I want to try I've previously regretted not doing, came the final name, We Attempt New Things, which conveniently shortens to the acronym WANT, and still lets me use WANT in my title images for consistent branding. Name is chosen, on to the next step, a Google account. I want to remain anonymous, so I don't want the channel to be linked to any of my existing email accounts. So pop into Google, register a new email, and yes, my first name is definitely We Attempt, and my last name is certainly New Things. Just ask my father, Can Attempt. A few more clicks and done. A nice new email address and Google account. Easy. Now, the reason we had to make the new Google account, making the actual YouTube account. Easy enough. So, we're done, right? I've, technically speaking, created a channel. Well, not quite. There are 2 things that I need. An icon and a channel banner. And this is, for sure, one of the most difficult steps. I have no design sense. None. So until I give this channel a facelift sometime in the future after I've skilled up in certain artistic areas, yes, dropping future video ideas is another way to holding myself accountable to do them, I need to have something. Something simple, something scalable, something that can be created with Paint. So I fiddled around for a bit, knowing that I was going to make use of the WANT acronym to see what inspiration hit. Then, after a short while, a sort of hazy image floated into my mind. The same word over and over again in different colors, but the same font. I felt like I had seen it somewhere, but I couldn't think of where. Leave a comment if you have any clue of where it may have been, because I certainly couldn't find it. So I tried it out, looking at a bunch of different default fonts, chose several colors, then the finishing touch, and done. It's simple, unprofessional, but at the same time a perfect microcosm of what this channel is. A bunch of different ones. It kind of makes me excited for when I get the skills to update it. Upload to the channel and wait, hang on, the text is a bit small. Give me a second. Upload that and yeah, that's better. Banner image, same vibe, bada bing, bada boom, there it is. Except it's not. My initial thought was going to be, yeah, of course they'll let me crop an image for different screen sizes. No, actually, they use the same image for all and crop it themselves for each scenario. So back to the drawing board, that is to say, Paint 3D. Looking at the first banner did kind of make my eyes hurt, so let's do a simple center image this time. There, with a splash of the 4 most central colors from the icon, and the channel is done. Let's be blunt. Creating a YouTube channel is easy, but that's kind of the point. As I'm writing this line, I haven't started doing any of the recording or editing yet, but as the proverb goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And this channel, and this video, is my first tangible step. So hey, if you've made it this far, thanks. Goodness knows this video is rough around the edges. Next video will be about the video creation process and should be released, unless I blow it right off the bat, in 2 weeks. So subscribe if you want to see it. That's it from me. Thanks again for watching, and remember, it's we attempt new things, not I attempt new things. So try something new along with me, and I hope you all have a fruitful day.